morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
Yes, Camilla's filling in for Mike. Mike couldn't make it today, so we'll just have to... Well, I don't know what I was about to say.
What?
We'll have
You'll have to what? Say it!
Make do.
We'll have to, unfortunately, do the best we can with what we've got.
Appreciate the confidence.
Chris said no. We went through...
Going to the bottom of the barrel for this one.
All right.
It's all right.
Hey, this episode is sponsored by Bezier Games, makers of the game called Sink or Swim back here. It's a cooperative synchronized swimming. Have you ever done synchronized swimming? You were a swim coach. I don't know.
No, I mean like playing around after practice and stuff. No.
Okay.
We weren't good at it.
Then it does seem like a very difficult thing to do.
It is.
For an end result of me going, meh. I always feel bad about it. I'm like, I know that was really hard to do, but I'm not interested in it at all.
In doing it or
No,
watching it?
I find it very boring to watch synchronized swimming.
But they're doing it at the same time.
I know. I get it. It's
Have
cool.
you ever
hard.
seen it from underwater? Like the
Yes.
underwater shots? They're such athletes. So jealous.
No, I'm
insane.
Again, I'm impressed. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Okay,
Yeah.
we have a contest from Bezier Games for werewords. Werewords. This is werewords. Yes. So there's a. We're gonna be jumping around here a little bit between games.
Okay, go ahead.
So
go
you're
ahead.
gonna win a copy of werewords, which
Yes.
is like 20 questions
Yes.
with a trader. The subject that you need to put in our contest email, which is contest@dicetower.com, emails, and the subject line put the word werewolf. In the body, put how many of each roll/number are there in the game called Silver, which is not werewords.
Okay.
Oh, but
Okay.
Silver kills werewolves.
Yes, Silver.
So it makes sense.
A game.
I don't know why you're confused.
You're right. That's on me. Anyway, we got one copy of this for folks in the U.S. Enter this contest and you could win. So, thank you, Bezier Games.
There you go.
Well, there's not a lot more to say except the Dice Tower Cruise is sold out. So that's done. But you can still come to Dice Tower East, Dice Tower West. They have not yet sold out. Dice Tower East is about half sold out, and Dice Tower West, probably same, both of them. But go to those respective websites. Also, I don't have anything else to say. I'm sure there's something else I'm supposed to talk about. Winter Spectacular is coming soon. I know this because we've been working on it today. But let's get started with the news.
When is Mike coming back? That's my...
I'm doing great.
With the
I'm rocking
the
this.
news. All right. Well, in the news today, first of all, we have Wild Tales, a pirate legacy game. So if you're just looking at this cover, I'm like, okay, cool art. It's a legacy game. It's from Button Shy.
Wait, what? So it's like a tiny little
It's
game?
an 18-card legacy game.
What?
You can play it 17 times because each time you rip a card. No, I don't know about that.
No, I don't think you don't destroy anything. So after it's like fully playable once you finish the
reset
legacy,
it?
or you can get a reset pack.
Or you get a reset pack. So it's an actual legacy game with stickers in the whole... Like, you actually have to buy a reset pack.
Yeah,
But it's a tiny legacy game.
18 cards.
This is insanity.
Micro deck.
It's a
Micro
cooperative
legacy.
It's a cooperative adventure game from 1 to 2.
Okay.
That's weird to me. I don't know what that means.
A cooperative game for 1 to 2. 2 people cooperate or 1 person cooperates.
Yes,
No
I
trader.
understand that. I guess I'm confused about the legacy. I don't know if I would buy. I need to know how many games it is, before I buy it.
I don't know. That is very
It says
interesting.
It's replayable. Yeah, but I mean, if it's micro, it's going to be a decent price point.
I'm kind of fascinated by that. A legacy micro game. It has to be.
Maybe it's
I don't know. It's going to be tiny, right? But a legacy game.
It
That's
was just
wild.
released, and I know Button Shy will be at PAX, so let's go buy a look.
Let's
Let's
ask 'em.
go. I'm
Write
there.
it down. Put it in the
Okay,
calendar.
here we go.
That's what I should have announced earlier in the thing. Show we're gonna be at PAX. PAX Unplugged. Come by and see us.
Wild Tales.
All right.
Got it.
Planet. Why did I say Planet Pits? It's
Ooh.
Planepita.
Planepita.
Planet Pita bread. This is from publisher. Oh, I can't pronounce that either.
Oh, you're terrible.
No, you pronounce that. SZPI
Let me see it.
Lab.
I can't spell.
Spilab?
Spielab.
Nobody can pronounce that.
Spielab.
Anyway, this is a disc flicking game, so Z's out, where you're trying to flick your disc into the center of a board, but they're two-sided and magnetic. I'm so into this. I am ready to play this now. Is this
Okay,
from
I'm
the
going to
same-
go ahead and not put that one on my list, okay?
Wait. So you're flicking and it's like magnetizing others as you go?
Actually, this raised a million yen on the crowdfunding site Campfire. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm going to write that down.
No.
Campfire.
How much is a
Site.
million yen?
It's a
I don't
lot.
know. And Alexa has been moved out of this room because she keeps
Alexa!
interrupting our shows.
Well, you did get rid of her?
No, I just moved her into the kitchen.
What about Roy? Roy, how much is a million yen?
Hey,
Alright.
Roy.
Hey, Roy.
All right. Well, while Roy's looking that up, this looks interesting. It looks like it's made by.
Siri, how many is it?
Oh my word! All right. Anyhow,
7,170.
All right. Roy says, Siri says 7,000.
About $7,000.
okay. Well, this looks like it's.
It looks cute. It's very much your kind of thing. It looks really quirky. I think you are going to like it, Tom. And I think
Camilla like it
Camilla,
too. That'd be-
Yeah. I wonder if I will.
is not Mike. That's the main thought. But also, she might like it as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Carcassonne. There's a new thing. Mists over Carcassonne. Ooh.
You know, they had this at Essen.
Oh, is that where I saw it? Okay.
That
I
is
think
where
I've
I saw
seen
it too.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah,
it was
it's
only
a
in
cool-
German, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. And it was a cooperative, right? Carcassonne game.
Oh.
So it takes the whole thing and turns it on its head, where now you cooperate over the lands of Carcassonne
And it has ghosts?
against the ghostos.
Yeah, it's
Ghosts.
releasing on
Ghosts.
January 6th, and it will have instructions for integrating the components into the competitive game as an expansion.
Of course. Are you kidding?
Oh.
It's Carcassonne.
This
I
is
want to
the
play that.
2 millionth expansion to Carcassonne.
It comes with 2 catapults.
But is it the first with ghosts?
2 catapults.
dueling catapults? Yeah, no, that's cool. It seems neat, and I, like I said, we saw it there, and it's like a regular sized Carcassonne box,
Okay.
that typical Carcassonne box, but co-op, kind of kiddie, I guess. It's a little bit of a,
Feels like a little late here. This should have come out in October, but I guess it did in Germany.
maybe,
Oh,
yeah,
it took
right.
a while to get here.
All right, this next game, which is in Z's Christmas list, Trivial Pursuit D&D Ultimate Edition.
I'm all over it.
Oh, that's...
Ask me anything.
What's the name of Drist's father?
Drats.
Okay, I'll give you an easier one. What's the name of his panther?
Dritz has a panther.
Yeah, that's actually all I know about him. I've never read any of the books.
Dritz
But
is a dragon.
no, he's the dark elf.
Oh, I thought that was a dragon. And that dark elf has a panther?
Yes,
Are you sure it's not a tiger?
it's a panther.
Black.
That's the color of the panther.
Black Panther.
I don't actually know the name either, but I have that one D&D game. That's the only reason. And remember, I said the name wrong when I first saw it, and I've never been. I probably just said it wrong now again.
Yeah. Again, I might be the absolute worst at this game.
No.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd give you a run for your money on that. I thought
We
Drisk
should
was
play
the
this.
place.
If we
See,
played
it's
this
Zach
live,
Mathine.
if we played this live, that would be
Oh, Guinevere?
Oh.
Wait.
hilariously
I have
absurd.
2 different names now. Oh, the panther
Oh.
is. Wait, that's 3 different
Oh.
names now that people have given us for a panther.
Somebody says it's called.
Oh, that's the name of
James.
his father. I was just kidding. I didn't even know if he had a father. Well, I guess he has had a
Well,
father.
really?
He was born.
No, in D&D, you do not
D&D.
know. They might have formed him from the earth.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah, Trivial Pursuit, Dungeons and Dragons. You know if you want this.
Probably
that's
nobody.
true.
All right. Okay, the new hot game, Jump Drive, is getting expansion Terminal Velocity.
Velocity.
Are you kidding? This is only late by about 4 years.
I think, when did Jump Drive come out? I need to look
Been a
this
while.
one up.
Yeah. Jump Drive was like the baby sibling of Race for the Galaxy. And it kind of came and went. It was okay.
Well,
Came
first
and
of all,
went.
it was a game called The City,
Yeah, the city is.
which
they're-
came out in
They're
2011.
not quite the exact same game, but they're very similar. Clearly, Jump Drive came from the city.
Yes. I like Jump Drive a lot,
So, yeah, you liked it, right?
but it's a very simple game. Each turn, you're kind of adding a card to your little tableau, and then you get points. And when you get a certain amount of points, the game's over, which is usually like your 6th or 7th card. It's really fast.
Okay.
The City's the same thing. It's very non-thematic, obviously, since you can do both. I like it. I never once thought I wish it had an expansion. And I don't know that the game's... This is a weird move by Real... Well, it's a normal move for them, but it's a weird move anyway. Like, making expansion for such an old game. ish.
And a small game that I maybe sold. Maybe it did sell well, and I'm not aware, but I don't think it did a whole lot of business.
What's it saying it's doing for the game?
Oh yeah, good point. It's using cards for most of the aspects of the original race technology and planet cards. Blah 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 blah. This turns jump. This is talking about how to play Jump Drive. I already knew that. The first expansion adds new game cards, optional start worlds and goals, material for a 5th player, and solo play. Obviously.
Okay, so basically, what you would expect: one more player, one fewer player, goals.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's the same thing as the first expansion to Race for the Galaxy, more or less.
Good
Right?
point.
Oh, interesting.
I wonder if half the cards are going to be blank.
That's such an old joke, but it works
Yeah,
for
I'm
me.
sorry.
All right.
Okay. All right. There you
The
go.
first expansion for Race of Galaxy, half the cards were blank, so you can make up your own cards.
Oh, that's like my least
It's
favorite.
like a lot
kind
of cards. It was like
expansion.
way
I
too
hate
many
that.
cards. Like when they give you like 2 blank cards, you're like, all right. But like when they give you like 17 blank cards, like,
Even at that,
yo.
do people actually do that?
No.
Like make their own cards? No.
And even if you did, the
I don't
one
know.
game where people would refuse to play with a homemade card is Race for the Galaxy. There's already people who won't play with the expansions mixed.
Yeah.
That's the one game anyway. All right, let's move on. Saigon 75. This is coming from Ares. This is a 2-player game.
Okay.
That's an interesting
All right,
cover
that's
there.
Interesting.
Okay.
A lot to
Okay.
digest.
It was originally made from a publisher called Nuts. Nuts makes a lot of war games or war-ish games.
Okay.
All right.
And this is simulating the war in Vietnam in 1973 and 1975. It just has a few simple rules and plays in an hour. That might be interesting.
Oh.
This is not coming to crowdfunding.
I don't know if it was already. It's
Yeah.
not. It's coming from Ares. Ares does not crowdfund too much of their stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
All
That
right.
might be good. Yeah.
Frank West, president of Gamma, just stepped down a couple days ago. So Gamma, this is the second president to step down from Gamma this year. He was elected in August, and before that there was Kylie Primus was the president who stepped down earlier. Then there was an interim president, Grace Collins. Grace Collins is now president again. She's going to probably have some sort of record book, like most times became president in
Most
one year for
interim
Gamma.
president. Yeah.
Frank says the industry's done a lot for him. He wants to get back to it. He wants to help other people find success, and he thinks there's better ways than he could use his time in the industry other than the position he had at Gamma. It was a friendly departure, and he wishes them the best. So there you go.
All right.
We'll see what happens with Gamma in the future. All right. Jumping from Gamma to 25th Century, who puts out a game every other week. This one designed by Jason Levine, not the gaming machine.
That is
Oh, really?
That is hilarious. It's not Jason.
It's
no.
not Jason.
Oh, when I was doing it on Dice Tower now, because this is one of the ones I read, and I was like, oh, I didn't know he designed. Anyway, okay, didn't realize there was 2 of him in the world.
There's not. Okay.
There's not.
Do not bring down the wrath of that upon us. What is wrong with you, Camilla?
I think next is Locust.
No, that was the third plague. All
2
right.
Jasons.
Anyhow, this is where you get that random. This is like based on the Japanese.
Yeah, gotcha machines.
Gashapon?
Yes, which you can still go to if you like. Have you seen them like when you go to one of those places that sells a bunch of stuff from Japan? They'll have these machines, except now you have to put in like $4 or $5 to
Yeah,
get
What?
something
right.
out.
They'll
Yes,
get you now,
Oh
man.
my
they're very
gosh.
expensive,
Wow.
and the kids are like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, no." 'Cause you don't know what you're getting. They
Right.
also sell blind boxes of stuff now all over the place. That's a really big deal.
Huh.
Which I still find that to be weird. Like the Lego ones, even you can pick up those packages and like this is a fat one, this is a thin one. If I'm
Yeah.
looking for a certain one, you can feel them a little
Really?
bit.
Right, but
But these, you just get whatever comes out.
nah, I don't like that.
It's a fun idea, and I would love to have. Like, it'd be fun to have one of these somewhere that's free for you, or like people who come visit
Yeah.
or something. But going
I can
somewhere,
see that, right.
that'd be fun.
And paying and trying to get that one, it just
Paying to,
really,
to get something, and you don't know what you're gonna get. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
kind of cute.
I like
Yeah.
it sounds like a fun game.
It's a fun theme for sure. Yeah.
All right, the Groundhog Gambit. This is from Grand Gamers Guild. These are little escape room games.
He's so cute.
He's also holding a
Look at him.
shiv, man.
Why do you think that's cute?
Look at him, because
That's
he's so
not cute.
He is. He's so determined. He has a goal, and he is not going to be stopped.
I feel like what is
Look
the
at him.
The goal is to cut you open, man.
You know?
On a cold
okay.
February morning, you find yourself trapped in the professor's manor, faced with the results of his experiments with time itself. Can you break the loop and escape? That doesn't sound anything like what that cover's showing, but...
Yeah, I know. Are you
It is
trying
a
to
clock. There's a clock underneath the groundhog.
And you're
there.
escaping from him?
This is an escape room. They make these little escape room games. Have you played any?
Yeah, I really like these a lot, actually.
you?
I've played almost all of them.
Well, this one you have to
Oh,
play
wow.
over and over and over again until you get it correct.
Okay. I played one of them. I thought it was cute enough. But yeah, you're right that this series is actually, they've made a lot more than I expected. I figured it'd be a one-off.
Right.
They've done a
This is
Christmas one. They did a bunch of
Independence
themes.
Day, they've done
Yeah, right.
Halloween.
Valentine's,
There's one more.
Groundhog Day
Thanksgiving.
now, obviously.
Is there a Thanksgiving one?
I think.
The Thanksgiving
had that
something,
one.
or yeah, I
Okay,
think
all right.
the turkey murder or something. Yeah.
Thank you, Larwin S.
Oh, yes. Anyway, no, I like these a lot. I think they're just for a one-off, one time. They take about an hour. I've actually done them in lockdown is how I found them. I did them through Zoom, and they work really well with that. You just have to have a camera on the cards.
Interesting.
You know,
Okay.
actually, I'm sorry, I did a screen share because I just bought the online version of it, and rather than printing it, I just showed the pictures.
Oh,
Screen
they
shared.
still use this online?
So you can either buy the print version, or you can buy the deck and they'll mail you the deck. And so they sell either one. They'll either sell you the PDF file,
Oh, I
or
Oh, that's
you know,
cool.
Interesting.
All right. The World Rummikub World Championship, known as the WRC, is being held in Poland, which I thought was an odd place since the game is an Israeli game, actually.
Is that right?
Originally, yeah. Anyway, this is October 20 to 23rd in Poland. You can go to it if you want. This is the first time
can?
it's taken place.
You pointed at me. They
Well,
didn't.
have you played Rummikub?
No.
Have you?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I have. As of last year, Eric Summer taught it to me. It's an interesting game, but it's,
Rummy-esque, right? Tiled with tiles instead.
yeah, but it's definitely a kind of game where you can sit there and you can say, I can turn these in for this and turn these in for that and do. No, never mind. I can't do that. You actually, you would
I'm
have to play with a timer with a really serious player.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that would be.
I figured
was
like-
interesting.
I always thought of Rummikub as a very light family game. It's not.
It's not difficult.
I like
to
lumped
understand.
it in with Uno, honestly.
No, it's
That's-
way more complex than Uno. I mean, it's not complex. It's deeper than Uno.
Okay,
Not more
okay.
complex.
Interesting.
All right.
And then finally in our news, we have Savernake. I don't know if that's pronounced right. Savernake. I don't know. Forest. That's a really weird cover to me. It feels like something is missing.
Box though.
Yeah, kind of.
It's a cool box. It just
It's
feels like
really
there's.
cool.
It says forest, but then it shows.
It's more about the animals and the little hidden kind of things, like the owl and the fox.
Let's see what it is. You're building a section of forest where 23 different animals can appear to search for food. And it sounds like you're placing cards. You have to follow rules. 2 animals can't be in the same path. Cards must be placed adjacent. Cards cannot be placed outside of a 4x4 grid. Oh, it's one of those games.
Oh, okay.
When you put out 16 cards, you'll count your food storage points. That makes me a little less interested. These grid games, there's so many of them these days.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of stuff Devere's doing.
Devere is when they hit for me, they really hit. I like a lot of their stuff, but I do wonder. I love the look. I mean, it's a beautiful. I just again, every time I see one of their games lately, I wonder, is this going to be one of the ones that really sings with me, or one of the ones that I can't quite grok? Sometimes their games are a little obtuse.
Well, that's it, folks. That's the news. We'll probably find out some more stuff at PAX tomorrow.
Oh,
Ooh, already.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And here we are with another version of Shelf Storage Yourself.
That's right.
So today we grabbed off the shelf Abomination.
Yes.
Air Frankenstein. This one, loved it when it first came out. Loved the idea of it. But
Love the theme.
loved the theme. The theme is great.
Yeah.
Although it is dark, right?
Yeah.
But it was
It's a very Halloween-y game.
very.
Yeah.
But one of those things, I think it was too long.
Oh, yeah.
too long and it overstayed its welcome.
Yes, it was not ever going to be played because of the length.
Right.
I think there are other games in that length that just do things better.
And
yeah.
it was on the verge of
Yeah, I was out of here.
we were getting rid of it. Although we love the theme that much.
Yeah.
But what saved it is there were 2 variants that came out.
Correct. Yes, we've got Igor, which was the publisher updated, and then the designer came out with Prometheus that Plaid Hat Games, the publisher, also kind of sanctioned and supported too.
Yeah, so Plaid Hat wanted to come out with their own that you did not have to print and play anything for.
Correct. Yes.
But the designer came out with Prometheus, who kind of said, this is the way I'd like it to play.
Yes.
And the print and play, it's not a lot of little fiddly things.
No, it's really very minimal for the print and play. Yes, you're not doing a lot.
This is it right here. You just print these off.
Yep.
And you cover up a couple of things. Now, the thing is, with Prometheus,
Yes.
this changed the entire game.
Oh, it completely did. First of all, it changed the length of the game, made it much quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say it's like 30 to 40% shorter game.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
And I've got it written down some different things it does. It's a new
Yes.
monster building process. So you build the monster once.
Yes.
And if you've played Prometheus, you don't have to build you build the muscle, then the skin. You feel like you're doing everything twice, which that just prolonged the game.
Correct. Yes.
So this eliminates that.
Yeah, you build your monster once. You get your body parts, you build it.
Yeah, and then there's also new dice mitigation and scoring system, and then it
Yes.
reduces the amount of luck in the game.
Yes.
Which, when you play any style of game, no matter how long, the luck is always a problem. But the longer it gets, the more you don't like that luck. And this
Particularly
helps
because
mitigate.
those dice rolls were so critical, right? To build, your monster kind of clicking and working and everything. When you've spent all this time and it comes down to a dice roll, it's very, very frustrating.
Yeah, and this is
Yeah.
it's eight rounds instead of 12, which is another big thing. So it does a lot to shorten it.
Yes.
But the incredible thing is that this does not do, it does not take away any of the feeling of the game.
No, correct. It's still this great thematic game, which, like I said, that theme, I love Frankenstein. I love that theme. It's still so thematic.
And I would say it's even more exciting because when you have to dilute that excitement for a game, instead of a typical, we'll just do, say, 60 minutes,
Yeah.
you do it to 3 hours, then it comes in waves.
Yeah, yeah.
So now the game is a little bit quicker. It's still not a short game, but it's not an extremely long, when is this over game.
Correct. You don't feel like that. When is this game going to end? You always feel like, oh man, I wish I had another turn, which I always think that's a good game when you're like,
Right.
I wish I had another turn. So this is fantastic. I enjoy this game. We've actually played it with the Prometheus version several times because it's easy to bring back out again.
It is. And,
Yeah.
and this is all you have to print right
Yeah.
here. You print the instructions and these for everybody. I would really like Plaid Hat to go ahead and just
make 'em-
release some sort of
Yeah.
addition that you
Yeah.
put these on there. But these are easy to cut out,
Yeah.
stick on there. So
You could go a step further and stick it on like a little piece of like board or whatever, so it is thicker, but
Right.
up to you.
Or we laminate them eventually
yeah.
because we play it that much.
Yes.
Which is crazy for a game that never was played.
Yes, that was on its way out the door. Now, this is one of our favorite games, and like I said, we do play this game a lot. This is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so if you have Abomination or if you're looking at getting it, try the Prometheus expansion.
Oh, absolutely,
It's
yes.
highly recommended, and it will take it, for us, it took it from that sell pile to go back on the shelf.
To a prominent spot, too.
And it hits the table.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yes.
So, all right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
No one likes peas in a. If there's peas, no, hang on. If there's peas in one of those little sections of a plate, it's always a bad sign. If you have one of those paper
Yeah.
plates and the little section's filled with peas, those peas are bad. It's like a law of nature.
Are you talking like if it came like as
Like
a
a
freezer meal?
cafeteria, freezer
Oh,
meal,
yeah, you don't
whatever.
eat
No, I'm
peas in a
saying
cafeteria. No.
if you make good peas, you're also
Yes.
putting them on good plates,
or you're putting it on your own plate. And you
but
can
not
put it
one
in
of
that-
those.
Right.
What about corn?
Do you own those plates? Corn's
I
fine.
used to actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kids' plates sometimes have those in
maybe.
them. You eat the whole thing and you can see Mickey Mouse. All right, so we're at the end of 2022, so we're going to start doing best of 2022 list here for a bit. So
Done.
today we're doing
Best conversations. I nominate the P discussion, the great P discussion of 2022
The P
as one of the
debate.
best conversations, most titillating conversations that have ever
Titillating.
happened at the Dice Tower. Yes.
You're so rude. Rudest people of the year. 1, 2, and 3. Z. Garcia.
Okay.
All
What
right,
are we
so
talking about today?
best movies of the year.
Oh,
This includes, obviously, stuff that could be streamed. Otherwise,
Oh.
I would not
Yes.
be able to be involved.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say streaming movies are pretty much caught up to like if someone says a movie streamed, I don't go, oh, it's a lower quality movie.
No,
In
right.
fact, one of the movies that I unfortunately cut could have easily been in theaters. It was bigger blockbuster, I think, than most movies in the theaters this year.
There's one that I cut as well that I thought as well.
well, that one I kept.
I'm
know
pretty sure
it,
you kept
which
that
is why
one.
I cut it off my list. I was like, Z got
gonna
me.
say, I'm
Z
like,
got me on that one.
Pretty sure
Okay,
G's
because
gonna
I
have that
have
one
like
covered.
3. I actually went through all the movies that I looked up lists of what came out in 2022, and I wrote down any candidates. And when I was done looking at I Googled 3 or 4 different places. I looked and I had 3. I wrote down 3. I'm like, I guess it's these 3. Okay.
I like how you wrote down your candidates. I just wrote down every game I've seen this year.
Every game, huh?
I mean, oh, sorry, every movie I've seen this year. I made it to almost 10, and chose my top 3.
I had a hard time because it was easy to pull out my top 2, and then my third one I was like between 6 different movies. It's like, I could have done a top 10. Whatever.
I could have done a top 5. These top 3, like I said, I cut one out thinking you probably have it, and I was like, all right, it'll get the attention it deserves, and then the other one just.
All right.
makes
Well,
me
what's your
sad.
number 3 game you've watched
My number
this year?
3 is Enola Holmes 2. I watched it recently.
Electric Boogaloo.
I have not watched it. Is it better than the first?
I don't think so, but I really enjoyed it. So in this one, it's kind of her establishing herself. She's trying to set out and establish herself as her own detective, you know, and she tries to start her own thing. It doesn't go well, gets really entangled in a big mess, you know, as it goes. But there is a lot more of Sherlock in this one. And I thought that was kind of cool to see that emerging dynamic as well. So yeah, I still think I like the first one.
Who is Sherlock? It's Henry Cavill,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Superman.
Yeah. Superman.
That would be a good
Witcher.
crossover, okay? If it was Superman, The Witcher, and Sherlock Holmes, there's nothing
Wait,
that
he's the
person
Witcher?
couldn't do.
He's not the Witcher.
He's The Witcher,
He's
yeah.
definitely he was. I think
Yeah.
he dropped out of it.
Wow, he's done now, but he did 2 seasons of
realize
that,
that.
okay? Toss a coin to Sherlock Holmes.
Anyway, yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was a little bit more heartwarming, I think, you know, but yeah, I think it progressed the story well. It did. Oh, and never mind, spoiler. There's something I really like in it.
Well, there you go.
Go see it.
Okay, that's your number 3. Okay, my number 3. Oh,
I want to
It's
say
so
it
good,
so
but I
bad.
I wanna-
can't. Spoiler, because it's kind of a new movie.
I want to say what the number 3 is,
I'm
but
gonna
it's a spoiler. Ooh.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Batman, okay? I don't want to spoil. Oh, spoiler alert, okay? Batman is a well-known person in town. Okay? It's
the worst.
Someone
You're
you
the
probably
worst.
have seen in town, and you'd be like, oh, it could not possibly be them. It is them. You just watch it. You'll see what I'm talking. I don't want to spoil it. I thought The Batman was pretty good. It was a really dark movie, and it definitely took a couple of viewings for me to sort of warm up to it a little more than upon first blush. Because I saw it and I was like, okay, it's interesting. They're going for like a super dark take on Batman. And I don't know, some of the beats in it at first, the first time through it, I think I watched it in the movie theater. I was like, oh, I don't know if...
Do you like him as Batman?
Yeah, I thought he was fine. It was not... He was good. I don't actually think that playing Batman is all that much of an accomplishment or a difficult thing.
Woo!
It's you don't have to do that much. You have to be arrogant and like a...
Emo.
Well, they were playing Batman as like an emo,
Yeah.
very grunge kind of character, which is a nice little spin on it. And it's a younger Batman, obviously, in that movie. But I don't know, I think playing Batman is not that difficult. You have to be Bruce Wayne. Oh, sorry. You have to be...
Next, you'll tell us that his parents are dead.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne is not that hard to play, I think, and Batman is not that hard to play, I think. I mean, physically it is. It's demanding, but that's it. There's a couple of scenes in the movie that I think are fantastic. I think the movie is moody. I think it does get better with repeat viewings. I like it. I like it a lot. It's not one I want to watch all the time because it's heavy, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good, moody, enjoyable kind of movie. So, The Batman, my number 3.
You know what I feel bad about on my list? for the first time ever, probably in the last 8 years, not a single Marvel movie.
Is that right?
Oh,
Oh, I figured
yeah.
there would be one on there.
There is not.
Okay.
I liked all 3 of them fine.
Wait, what? I'm missing
There
one
was
then.
there was
Oh, Thor. I missed Thor.
Doctor
Okay.
Strange, which I thought was the best of the 3, then Thor, then Black Panther, but none of them were like blew me away. My third movie is an animated movie, actually, a kids movie, and I was really surprised because I went into this movie expecting to hate it, and I loved it, and that's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, never mind.
It's really good. Again, just these nostalgic things tend to work 1 out of 5 times.
Okay.
Right.
But this one has a very strong Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know, because they're running around in this animated world. Many times they go into a spot where there's like animated, the really bad animation from the 90s. They run into the Sonic the Hedgehog with teeth. He goes to conventions and he's like, I'm the Sonic the Hedgehog with teeth. I don't know. It was
Sounds like
really
the
well
beat.
done. The voices were good. It was John Mulaney and Seth Rogen, I think, are the 2 main voices.
Okay.
And it's just funny the whole way through. It's definitely, if you like the original cartoon, you'll also like this. It's one of those.
It's for
I don't
grown-ups,
know.
kind of,
It's-
right? It's like, if
It's
you know
way
the original
more for grown-ups.
stuff.
My kids liked it okay. Me and my wife loved it because we remembered the Disney afternoon. I thought it was really good.
I made it like 20 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I can't stomach this. It was just like cringe. And I grew up. I was excited because I grew up on Chip and Dale. Like I remember that show, and the
I make no
Rescue
apologies.
Rangers.
I
And I was like
liked it.
20 minutes. And I was like, I can't. It was. Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
What was the anime movie you thought I was going to put? Because you didn't put one on your list.
I didn't. Bad Guys.
I like Bad Guys fine. It was a good one. It was a little predictable, that's
It
all.
was, but
Like-
again-
Like on a plate.
Okay, but I mean, there were times that like Scooter's like falling out of his chair laughing. You know, my son, like he just really, really enjoyed it a lot.
So I kept waiting for them to play the Bad Guys, I'm the Bad Guys song, which never
I know
happened.
they never did
I
either,
was like,
right?
what?
A missed
What's the I'm
opportunity.
the Bad Guy song?
What's her name?
I have Avril Lavigne in my head. It's not her. It's Billie
Eilish, yeah.
She has a song called Bad Guys?
Bad Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes.
Bam,
Bad Guys.
bam. All right, anyway.
I set
Let's
you
go number
up.
2.
You took it.
Okay, number
I-
2.
I-
There's no
I-
bump.
there's-
So.
Oh, there's no. I was waiting for the bumper. My number 2 is the Batman. So I actually, it's really funny because I was going to say that it's a movie that I really enjoyed my first watch of it, but I don't really have an interest in going back and seeing. And so it's one of those like, oh, I really enjoyed that. I liked the dark nature of it and that kind of
Interesting.
stuff. And so it's really interesting to hear you say that you think it gets better, because at this point I'd be like, I saw it, I took it in, I really enjoyed that experience, but I thought it did. It's just not one that I care to go back to. I enjoyed that experience in that movie. So it's interesting, and I wonder if I would like seeing it
I thought
again
it was
then.
better on following
That's
viewings.
interesting.
Yeah, because I think it's a movie it's weird because stylistically it's not subtle at all. It's like a
Right.
sledgehammer to the face.
Yeah.
And that sledgehammer is mostly aimed at the lighting so that every light bulb is broken. So it's not subtle at all from that point of view. I think the storytelling in it is very subtle. I think there's a lot of things that are the commentary, the small things, the little... Yeah, there's a lot of it that upon repeat viewings where you know what moments are coming and you can then just sort of analyze, well, why this person is doing this thing, how did they get to this moment. I think a lot of that gets
Interesting.
better, I think, on repeat viewings.
Okay, because I was more concerned with, I thought the movie had good pacing for that first watch, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did catch some heat where it's like, oh, it's 5-minute walk from one door to the other door. You know, it's like very,
That's
and so
true.
I was like, I enjoyed it because I think it really sold that experience, but I was concerned that it would be boring and drag in later watches. But it seems like maybe there's other stuff
I
that
think I liked
builds,
it
so it
better,
kind of
yeah.
balances. Interesting. All right. So yeah, my number 2 is the Batman.
There was that funny moment we were laughing about where he like reaches for an envelope inside of a cage or something for like
Yeah.
3 minutes. Remember that?
Yes.
It's like dong dong
Yeah.
dong dong. We're like, just grab it and open it already.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right, my number 2 is, I'm guessing, the one you guys didn't put in your list. It's called The Gray Man.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's my
Yeah,
number
that's
4,
it.
for sure.
Okay,
That's
the
my
Gray,
number. Z
That's
has
the one
it
I'm saying
covered.
could have been in theaters easily.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very
Yes.
much an action flick through and through. Great cast. This was a Netflix movie, right? Netflix?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the kind of movie that has that sort of relentless pace. It's always moving. There's
That's
always
true.
something going
It's
on.
the opposite of the Batman.
Right.
It is.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's just always ricocheting forward, and it's fun. It's not a brilliant movie. It's not like one of those movies that's going to make you go, wow, so smart, so clever the way that, no, okay, there's a guy being chased, he's on a train, the train's going to crash into a building, the guy's going to leap off the train onto a moving car. You know what you're getting. But it does that well. And the characters are likable, even the bad guy, or bad guys. There's various.
Well, the main bad guy is very enjoyable watching this one.
So there's a great cast in it. Everybody's good in it. It's fun. It's an absolute popcorn movie, and I guess that's something I had a really good time with this year. So The Gray Man. If you like that kind of movie and you have Netflix, you probably saw it honestly by now.
Yeah.
If not, you should.
You should. It's good.
All right, my number 2 is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't seen that yet.
I like the multiverses, and I was actually slightly disappointed in the Doctor Strange movie with the multiverse, because I think the multiverse thing's interesting. And in Doctor Strange, they were like in a bunch of multiverses. Then they jumped into one multiverse, showed you that one, and then they were like, and that's it. And I was like, what? I want to see more of that. Even a new movie, the sleeping movie with the Aquaman in it. I forget the name of the movie.
Wonderland or something?
Slumberland. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like, he's jumping from dream to dream. You're like, oh, and they show you like 5 dreams. And I'm like, oh, you could have done so much more than that if you wanted to. But anyway, Everything Everywhere All at Once is it's a smaller movie, but the multiverse thing is done really well. And the main actress is really good, but I thought the standout was her husband, who I forget the name, but played Short Round in Indiana Jones.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, well, he hadn't acted for a long time, and this was like his comeback, and he's amazing in this movie.
Wow.
Because he's like her very, very mousy husband to some degree, but also a top secret agent in a different multiverse, and they switch back and forth, and he does a great job playing both.
Playing both sides of that. Interesting. I've heard great things about the movie.
It's really good.
It's like one of the best movies of the year.
There's a few really weird moments in it, like odd stuff, and there's a couple things I've been like, I would have cut that. And it's not family friendly at all in a few moments.
Okay.
But I liked it a lot.
Oh.
Is it dramatic, though? Is it like one of those movies that tries to do, no pun intended, everything, where it's funny and dramatic and tugs at the heartstrings and all of that?
Yeah, I think so. But I think it does it well. The funny things is more about kind of what's happening. But it's more of a drama than anything else.
Okay. Yeah. I want to see that one for sure.
Where's that at?
It was a movie theater
Oh, it's a
release.
movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's not like a
It was a
Hulu
movie
or
theater release. It's on something. It might
Super
be
indie,
HBO. I don't
Okay,
know.
got it.
And number 1.
Well, number 1, that's me, is Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was nervous about this one because, it has so much nostalgia with it. Grew up on the movie, loved the movie, coming from a military background, just really had that whole like, oh, I'm so excited for the sequel. I've waited 20 years for it, but also please do it right. Kind of like very, very nervous, but I think that they did a great job kind of balancing that line. There's enough shout out to the old movie, but also I think it stands on its own as a good movie as well. And I think I really, really enjoyed it. And it's one of those that I'm so glad I saw it in a theater too. I think it really benefited just from that
I saw it on
experience. Really?
On a fighter. You saw it on a fighter.
It's not as Tom Cruise like
Right.
F-22.
Is this your number 1 too?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Is this your number 1 too?
No, I liked it, but I don't like it as much as you guys. I thought it was fine. It was good.
Okay.
I'm very curious what people would think of it who haven't seen the first one.
That would be interesting.
I barely remember the first one, to be honest. And I went back and rewatched it. I think the new one is way better than the first one.
Okay.
Actually, I think the first one is not a particularly good movie.
Oh, okay.
I rewatched it not that long ago, the first one, because I did see Maverick, and I was like, it's so good. Like you said, it feels like it's there's some reverence there to the original movie, but it really carves out its own path. It doesn't recycle stuff. It's action-packed. It's interesting. It's also fairly straightforward, so you understand what's going on. I went back and rewatched the first one, and it's just not that interesting. It doesn't really. I thought it did not hold up as well. I don't know.
I don't know, but I think I am amused slightly by how this is the movie that has bad guys that you never know who they are actually, and it works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't know anything about the bad guys.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. It was well handled, I thought. Very well handled. What do you got?
Well, my favorite is going to be much more of a letdown after that. My favorite I just saw in the last couple weeks, and that is Spirited. The new Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, wait,
Will
what?
Ferrell- Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
Ryan
I was
Reynolds.
thinking of the little horse now. What is that called?
Well, the
Never
what?
mind. I was thinking of a different
Spirit?
movie. Spirit.
Like the horse, animated horse
I was like,
movie
there's a number.
from a
there's a new
decade
one.
ago?
I thought that's what you were talking about. And I, was
actually
like,
don't
there's
like
a
that
new
movie,
one?
but Spirited
I haven't heard of
is
this one.
now in my repertoire of Christmas movies I'll watch every year.
I heard you talking about
like
it during your Q&A.
It's a good music. It's a good musical. It's done by the music's done by the same people that did Greatest Showman. So really good music. It's funny. It really reminds me a lot of Scrooged. With
I like
Bill
that.
Murray.
I like
It has
that.
that same kind of vibe going on because, as this is not a spoiler, the intro, Will Ferrell is the Ghost of Christmas Present, or that's his job. He works for this organization, and every year they pick
Okay.
one person,
Mm-hmm.
like Scrooge, and that person's the person they prep the whole year, they haunt them, and then that person's supposed to turn a new leaf and become good. And so this year they try to find the worst person they can think of, and it happens to be Ryan Reynolds' character,
Okay.
and then that's the movie.
Okay,
Then it
That
goes on
got
from
seems like a
there.
pretty big spoiler, yeah.
Again, it's in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Really,
I
I
don't
think.
know if
that
you should have
was
said that, okay?
That was quite a bit. I feel like I don't
Batman's
need to
Bruce
see
Wayne.
it.
How about that?
Whatever.
Deal
Now
with that.
this one's a harder one to see because it's on Apple TV, which is one of the
Okay.
streaming services a lot of people don't have. But it was in theaters for like a week. I assume it will be more widely available after a while. I don't know
Okay.
though if Apple will do that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I got to check this one out. That might be a good holiday one, yeah.
That might be fun.
All right, cool.
it.
I saw a lot of people mentioning different movies here in the comments. Roy, can you just scroll up through the comments real briefly? Let's see if there's any that.
Yep, that one, yeah,
Thank you
that's
for that one,
good.
yeah.
A lot of people mentioned Top Gun and mentioned Everywhere Everything All at Once.
Somebody said Black Adam.
I haven't seen that one yet. I keep meaning to, but if I'm picking between Black Adam and the Marvel movie, I was picking the Marvel movie.
Well, there's that Knives Out sequel coming out soon, right? That's not quite out yet.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to see that one.
It's coming out really soon though
Yeah, I
online,
think
isn't
so,
it?
yeah.
Oh,
I
is
really
it?
like the first one, so I will.
I thought it
will see
wasn't
that
like the
one.
end
I
of
think
December.
it's a Netflix movie now, or a Prime movie, or something like that. Slumberland. That's the one you were
Slumberland, that's the
talking
one,
about.
yeah,
Yeah, that was fine. But all right, well,
Roy,
okay.
you're the slowest scroller ever. There we go.
Okay, can you read that?
Yeah.
All right, let's
I'm,
keep
like,
moving.
dying.
Let's keep moving here.
Hey, what's up, Board Game Smorgasbord? Welcome back to From Plate to Table. Love that name, not my own. I borrowed it from somebody in the comments, so excellent choice there. This is a segment in which we talk all things 3D printing, resin printing, filament FDM printing, all these sorts of things. So today, I wanted to show you a couple screen grabs. I'm not great at this whole screen capturing thing, of how to use a couple of the software that are out there. Because the number one thing people ask is, well, I've got a printer, what do I do with it? I'll show you a couple places to get some great free files, as well as how to somewhat get started with orienting your files on the machine in the computer so that you'll know what to do. So let's take a look at that right now.
All right, so this is thingiverse.com. You can see there's tons of practical things you can download here. We're going to try a few things board game related, as well as just a couple things hobby related to show you what I'm talking about. So let's start with Grand Austria Hotel. Now I got my bits that I have in my game from this site. You notice right there, there's the strudel, the cake, the wine, the coffee. All those are little bits that you can print and replace the cubes. And here you've got a divider. You've got another divider right here. It's a little cleaner looking. Look, it's got the nice crosshatch where you can just keep the stuff in the tray. Quick to set up. These are great. These little trays and dividers are great. Some of them don't have lids, which is a problem. You can also make your own in things like Tinkercad, which we're going to talk about. Now let's take a look at a Wolverine statue. You've got a lot of options down here for claws, things like that. But I'm mostly interested in a statue because I want to show you in what we call Chitu Box how to orient your figures kind of quickly, and we'll go over that further later. So import your file. Drag it in, and you'll notice it lays it flat like that, and you can kind of zoom around and see the whole image and all the amazing glory of it. But now if you try to print this right now, it would print like that, and stuff would just not even stick to the build plate. So you need some supports to connect it to the build plate. You can do this in this position right here, click the auto support button, but the problem is when you do that, it's going to make it where it's just on its back, and you'll still lose some stuff. So what I like to do, just as a quick how-to, is just do a quick 45-degree rotation. So roughly 45 degrees. Usually the back is better because the back's less detail, or at least you don't want the back to be seen. And then the supports are there. This will print, and all those hanging pieces will be supported.
Well, thanks again for watching. Make sure to check out the merch store, Dice Tower merch. Orders are coming in, and then the product. It's coming in. We're getting it all in. We'll have it out ASAP. Those that we've already shipped a couple orders already, so hopefully those people will be sporting that merch and sending some pictures when they do. So look forward to seeing you soon here on Board Game Smorgasbord. Board.
All right. Merry Christmas! Or Christmas is coming up. It's time to give presents to people.
Let's go.
That's if you give presents to people.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. That was one time suddenly it's like, oh, I'm a terrible person.
I don't know. Actually,
Mumble,
Zia's given me good gifts over the years. I still have his little hot sauce collection.
I also
again.
gave you that book, right?
Did
The
you
top
read?
10 book. Yeah, that was a good book.
Oh, that one. That was from Z.
And the you gave me the useful tip a day calendar thing,
right.
which I really used. I was like, wow, this is great.
That is fun. Yeah, the one a day kind of calendars. Those are
are
fun.
neat. Yeah.
Those are fun.
Anyway, so when you first get into gaming, your first thought is, everyone else will be getting a game for Christmas. When I first was doing games when I lived in Korea, I bought my kids a ton of hobby games for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I now buy my kids 0 games for Christmas because
Right. I mean, situationally, it's
situationally.
different.
That's tricky. I mean,
that's
that
hard.
puts you in a very specific situation, and obviously, yes, you wouldn't be getting the kids games because you would get games here to review. However, the discussion being, do you buy games for other people for Christmas or as a gift? Really, it doesn't matter when. There's a couple of ways to tackle it, right? And that is, are you a gamer and you want to, quote unquote, infect other people with gaming so you get them gifts? So that's one way to look at it. And the other side, which probably a lot of viewers are familiar with, is people know you like gaming. They don't know anything about games, but they're like, so-and-so likes gaming. I'll get them a game, which is a very sweet thing, and they should definitely stop.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Well, that one's easier to do. You kind of just make it known, listen, don't buy me anything game-related, if possible.
Yeah, but
Right.
when
I mean,
people,
as nicely as you can. If someone asks what you want, you're like, well, not games.
a lot of people
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
ask, though. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
A lot
Yeah.
of friends might just be like, oh, they like games. I'll go down to Target
Right.
and get a game.
I saw this and thought of
So
you.
you'll
and
get
you're
like, here you go, here's a
"Oh,
thing,
great,"
and it
yeah.
might be whatever, but A, you either have it, which is probably the better situation, actually, where you're like, oh, that's really sweet, I'll go
Right.
exchange it. And then they can still see it on your shelf, actually.
Right. And they ask, oh, did you
Yes,
play it?
that's
Did you
the
like
one you
it?
gave me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
that's
definitely played
one.
it.
But then the other one is, so it's a game you have already, which is, fine, you can exchange it, or it's a game you have no interest in because you know you don't like that game. A game you maybe got rid of, a game you never had any interest in. That one's a little bit trickier because then you're in that situation of, I don't really care for this. I know I don't like it. What do I do with Cards Against Humanity or whatever it may be?
I'm kind of over worrying about someone coming to my house and looking at what gifts.
I think it's more like they would ask you about it. They would say like, oh, hey, did you end up playing that game? And again, best case scenario, I have it and I can honestly say, yeah, I played it. I really liked it. You can kind of give that feedback. They don't know that you're talking about a copy you've had for 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're right though. I'm tearing my house apart, getting rid of stuff that I'm not keeping, and I found something I don't use anymore that my kids gave me as a gift like 6 years ago, and I was like, oh,
that's a different conversation.
will they notice if I get rid of it? Anyway,
No.
buying gifts for other people.
Oh, yes. Back on track.
This is one thing I know, like beyond a shadow of doubt. If you're going to buy someone a game, not a gamer, that's a different situation. I buy Z a gamer, we're both gamers. I look at his list or whatever.
No, right.
Yeah,
We would be on the same page.
But if I'm buying for, let's say, a family, I'm like, hey, I'm going to buy them a game for Christmas, then I honestly think you should not buy someone else a game unless you are also going to teach and play that game with them.
Yes.
Because I can't tell you the number of people over the years who I gave games to and that was never opened. Or they opened it and they were like, oh! And I was like, wait, it's Ticket to Ride. It's 2 pages. How are you? But that
Right.
just happens.
I will also say if I am buying, I'm more apt to buy games for people who are not gamers. If they are a gamer, I'm going to go the gamer who has everything, something off that list, But if they're not a gamer, then I'm more apt to get them an actual game, and I try to always undershoot. You know, so if I think they can do Ticket to Ride, maybe I'll go a little step under that, something like that.
Sure.
Or I plan to be like, oh, I'm coming to the Christmas party and you asked me to bring a game. I brought a gift, which is a game, and then I'll play it with them. Something
Well, that's
like
a
that.
good way to do that.
you know?
That's really specific. Therefore useless. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Well, some of us are invited out in public to parties, so it happens. Not as specific for everyone.
No, I think that's a good way to do it. You're right. Where it's like, hey, we know you're the game person. Bring a game for the thing
Yeah.
for the party, and it's like, okay, I will, and it's gonna be I'll leave it.
Right.
Right, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like a game you want to unload, you hate it now. Take that, okay? What are they gonna? They're not gonna know. You can be like, oh, put some fake shrink wrap on it, and as you step out from your vehicle, you can be like, look, I brought a game. I have terrible advice today.
No, I'm just saying that most board games given are not opened. That's
Right.
I
just
agree.
a fact.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
So-
you're teaching it with, playing it with them or teaching it. That's a good idea. That's a good way to do it. I do worry, though, if you're going to give somebody a gift, and this is the risk you're running, just like anything. Like if you give somebody candy, whatever, and you sit there and watch them eat it, they might not like it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're running the risk of them having to fake liking it for 5 seconds, whatever they're eating. If it's a board game and they don't like it, they're probably feeling obligated to fake like they like it for 30 minutes or 45.
If you're playing it with them.
If you're playing it with them. So there's a little bit of that risk of
Yeah.
like, oh, thanks, wow, okay,
Right.
great. Oh, that sucked.
That's
So
true.
and so, stick it in the closet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if it's the shirt that your grandma gives you that you don't like, you're like, oh, thanks, I'll wear that tomorrow.
You're better off than-
something like that. But
you're better off playing the game with people, and they go, "Wow, I like this." Boom. Now I know what to get you for Christmas.
yes,
Agreed.
And that
Right.
then that goes back to your point of you would teach them, or you've already played it with them. You know, and it's like every time you come to visit, we play this game. You like it, cool. Here's your own copy to play with your friends, something like that. So that's I like
But
that.
I think all that pales besides the fact of you should buy people things for Christmas that they want. If you have any
Yeah.
kind of indication on that. So
Yes.
I don't buy my kids games for Christmas. It's not even necessarily because I have all these games. They aren't asking for them.
right.
You know, and if I know someone and they don't like games, I'm like, oh, but they like hunting. And this game's about hunting. No, I should buy them
Yeah.
something for what they like. You should do that in general. It's always
Right,
someone's like,
right.
I gave this to you because I just know you'll love it. No, you don't.
You don't, right.
Yeah,
Those are
you're
bad
projecting.
gifts.
If you're doing a lot of
For sure.
projecting, you're a big gamer, and so everybody gets games. You know, they might not be interested. They might not be ready for what you're giving them. It just might not be their thing. You know, that's okay. You got to know them a little bit and give them something that you think is going to be a good fit, or give them a gift card. Okay,
And you mentioned,
Oh, I hate
get out of my face. It's a gift card.
you mentioned, all right, well, fine. I need to return something in a second. You mentioned infecting people with gaming type
Yeah.
thing. Just a heads up, it's not going to work.
I think it's just an ugly kind of move when you're doing this whole. And this happens a lot online. This is kind of a different discussion, but that idea of so and so, my friend, my significant other, whatever, they humored me and sat down and played Uno with me. How do I get them to play Agricola? Like, what's my 5-step plan to get them to sit down and enjoy Agricola for 4 hours back to back with Caverna? It's like, no, that's a you thing. You
Right.
are looking for someone to play this game with. They might not be interested whatsoever. And I think that's unfortunately part of the problem there, is this idea of, I really like this thing. You're going to like it because I like it. No, do some self-reflecting. You're trying to make someone to play games with. You're trying to mold this person into that. Give them whatever they might like. They don't have to be like you.
Or even to that point that, oh, they like Uno, I need to step it up. I need to step
like
it. I need to
constant
mold them.
chase.
You're right, and it's like, no, if they like Uno, appreciate that. I mean, the gaming is about the time spent together and that kind of stuff. I mean, they don't have to be as deep in the hobby. They're here, they like this, they like to play Hearts, cool, sit down and play Hearts with them. And if they are looking for more, then
Yeah.
you can open up. But it's that, oh, I like to play Hearts. Let me show you the crew. Let me show you this other card game that's a little bit, it's a better game. Okay,
We're
you
getting
like trash.
Slightly off. I think you can do that sometimes, and it's okay to. I'm just saying, don't be like, for Christmas, everyone's getting a copy of Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait 2 weeks, and then, oh my word,
Everyone's
I will
gonna
have
be-
my own game group.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a heads up, it's not going to happen. I won't say it will never happen. It's possible to give someone something, they play it, and they love it. but it likely is not going to happen.
Really make it about the person and not you.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
You're buying an Epic game for you. You're a bad Santa.
Oh. Oh.
You're straight up Krampus.
All right. Well, that's it here for today, folks. We're not done, though. We got more videos going up today. And we will be back at 2 with crowd surfing.
Yes.
So we missed crowd surfing last week, but there's more projects coming. You'll see. There's some weird stuff.
There it is all
Some
the way.
weird stuff because it's that time of year. We're about to head into the Krampus season of Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Because December is not necessarily the best month to launch games. But
not.
there's still a few good ones out there, and we'll talk to you about that at 2. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Millie Cleghorn.
And have fun watching other people play games.